Call of Duty is they fucking up. All right. What is going down, people? Look at us here. I got season 2 of the Hot Dad Pod, and we're stuck in quarantine doing this via the marvelous technology that we have, and we literally actually learned today how to figure this out. I'm surprised we got to where it is, but some crazy ass times we're living in. It's don't get me wrong, there's been a few neat things about it. And I think Cotton, you talked about it the other day about we've been able to spend some extreme quality time with our family, which obviously, you know, might bump heads every once in a while just because it doesn't matter who it is. If you're stuck in a house with someone, you're going to bump heads.
There's definitely been tensions here or there.
Yeah. But definitely hanging out with my kid has been fun. Just, I mean, being able to see her all day long and, you know, going on multiple walks, you know, just family activities around the house has definitely been fun.
I think it's more specifically because it's such an impressionable time, but both our kids are 3.5 years old now, and just a lot of parents wouldn't be able to get this specific time at this age. Like, to be stuck in the house with a 16-year-old, they'd probably be downstairs playing. Well, maybe they'd be playing video games with us, but they might not be as into that one-on-one time with their parents as a 3-year-old is. Every I've picked up a few new skills, if you will. The other day I made a Chicago style deep dish pizza from scratch.
Oh, snap!
Oh, it was actually kind of decent. It's not perfect, but I think I'm confident next time I make that it's gonna be A1, as the kids say. But like as I'm like making it and getting shit ready, my kid every once in a while will be like, "Daddy, can you come give me a hug?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, man!" Like, of course.
That's actually, I mean, as cute as that is the hardest thing about trying to do anything at home, especially if you have to work from home. Like I've been having to work from home. My wife's been, she had to work from home. And don't get me wrong, it's not like we're sitting for 8 hours working. We pick and choose when we want to do it. But even if it's like cooking a meal and all that stuff, because we're there all day long, they want, all of a sudden that might be the exact time they want to hang out with you. And it's like, it's like so tough to be like, sorry, I'm working, or listen, man, I'm cooking food right now for you. Mm-hmm. So, leave me alone.
Yeah. Just watch Mickey, dumb motherfucker. No, I don't talk to my kid that way. Not to his face. But it has, I've framed most of my basement during this time. So I've put up like 150 feet of just framing, and I've had a frame around ductwork. That's the part that's dragging ass now, because that's the annoying part, especially like, not to get too in depth for everyone, but I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with ladder framing and things like that, but basically I build it to look like a ladder, and then I need to lift it above my head, and usually it's 12 feet apart. So I need another human being to help me do that. So it's harder to do it. Especially my wife had surgery not too long ago. She's pretty much recovered now, but about a week ago, she's still a little tender. So she's
about a week ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's still on a little bit of weight restrictions, but
ain't nothing wrong with that rotator cuff.
I hung her bike in the garage today.
There you go. That's putting in some work.
I tried to take my son for like a bike ride. These days all bleed together. I think yesterday was like 60 degrees out here, something like that. Might have been 2 days ago. I don't know. It all bleeds together. But my sister gave me this like little bike trailer thing to hook to the bike, but I don't have a bike pump, and the tires were deflated on both my bike and his trailer. And there's a little bracket to hook it to the bike that was missing. Actually, it almost turned into a real big fucking shit show. I was contemplating. I assumed like the nearby gas station had a pump. I'm like, come on, like Casey's, they probably got like a fucking travel pump. But my car wouldn't start. Which actually ended up being a lifesaver, because I didn't realize I didn't have the bracket. So what I would have done is ran to Casey's. I probably would have kept my son in the car, like locked the doors, would have ran in there for like a minute to go get it. Came back, pumped up all the tires to realize I still can't hook up the fucking thing. But anyway, on Tuesday, Amazon should be delivering it, and hopefully it's supposed to be nice that day. So hopefully we can get that bike ride in.
Cheers to Amazon solving so many problems nowadays. But the one thing I gotta say about this quarantine, which by the way, I guess because every state has been quarantined differently throughout. I think for us, it's been. I want to say it's day. What's today? Today's Saturday. It's been officially 2 weeks for me.
Thursday was 2 weeks for me.
Yeah. So.
But our state instated it 2 weeks ago today at 5 o'clock. But anyway.
Yeah. Some people obviously got instated after, and some people got instated prior to that. But all these days kind of blend in. But the one thing that unfortunately I have to speak on, just because it's relevant to some of our episodes, is my New Year's resolution has gone to shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's
this seems like the perfect time because I kind of have my own weights downstairs, but I've been...
I can't. Okay, so I've been trying to order off of Bowflex. They have these dumbbells where you could, do a quick... change the weight on them quickly versus sliding plates and stuff. I've been eyeballing those, but just like everyone in the fucking nation, everyone has bought all the workout equipment, so they're temporarily out of stock. I'm waiting for them to get back. This is what's going to happen, right? I'm going to order these fucking things. They're going to take 3 weeks to deliver. At that point, they're going to release the fucking captivity, quarantation.
Release us from captivity.
And it's going to be like, well, now I got to eat this $350 fucking dumbbell set, which I'm sure I'll use. But it's not even the exercise. It's the fact that I eat as if there is no tomorrow. I have been spending so much time staring into my fucking fridge, eating these zebra cakes, which I guess I didn't have to buy.
Damn, that sounds so good. I haven't had a zebra
fucking
cake
delicious.
in a minute.
I eat them like White Castles. I just stuff the whole fucking thing in my mouth.
I isolate that comment.
Yeah, and I tell myself when I go out to purchase these things that they're for my daughter. She probably has one, and I mean one as in not one packet. One of the zebra cakes. I eat the other fucking however many are in the box.
Snacks.
But at least that's not bad for you.
Right. My point is, I give him one, and I'll eat 5 packages, and while he eats one.
Yeah. I went grocery shopping today for no reason because we took inventory of the food we have in the freezer. We're pretty much, if we wanted to really eat what we have for the remainder of the month. But I think half of the reason is I like to just step outside and just kind of shake it off a little bit. I am careful. I wear gloves, and I fucking look like a weirdo. But I do realize when I go out is how many people really still don't give a fuck about this. Just absolutely zero fucks. They're fucking checking eggs next to me, and I'm like, what is your fucking definition of 6 feet? And just hearing people's conversations, there's clear. I don't have enough, I guess, intel to say it's a 50-50, but I feel like there's a big chunk of people that still don't think this is anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I've been eating my ass off, and I haven't scaled myself. I haven't weighed myself. I don't want to. I don't want to because I'm just gonna be upset. And literally, I have stuff to do. I could lose it, but it's just there's so much food in the fucking house. I can't. And I've been gaming until 5, 6 in the morning, so I've been eating deep into the night.
I'll get to the gaming thing. That's the reason. That's pretty much the reason I haven't been working out, because I haven't been gaming till 6 in the morning, but still I've been gaming till 1 in the morning. But go back to the people not taking this serious. My whole fucking subdivision, man. Everyone, these kids are just running around. We're I think we're the only people in our subdivision that have stayed in our house or on our property. I mean, we go for walks, whatever, but we don't I don't have my son go across the street to play with the other kids, which whatever. In a perfect world, in theory, if I knew without a doubt 100% all of our entire subdivision was isolated and quarantined, then whatever. No hard, at that point where no one has the virus,
right?
But for example, my wife still has to go to work. There's only 5 people at work there. She literally has little to no contact. But I know if I knew if I was my neighbor and I knew that someone was leaving the house every day, I wouldn't want my kid to go there, which drives me bonkers because I have like a Facebook fucking group in the subdivision, and motherfuckers are like putting comments like, when are you gonna fix the fucking crack in the sidewalk? Or like, make sure you shovel your sidewalk. Kids could slip, but they got them fucking running around all day with each other, just passing possibly a deadly fucking disease.
Yep. My neighborhood's been a little, like, I could tell it's tense here because they do like that awkward cross the street when someone's coming, you know, and it's like, but just out in public, I mean, I feel like, I know there's people still working, but I feel like there's still a lot of cars out there, and it's not, I'm sure it's not everybody going to Jewel or fucking, but if you guys are listening from a different state, Jewel's our main grocery.
It's your Publix. I
Yes.
think that's more like, I think that's towards
the south,
the east. Yeah, southeast.
Yeah. But it's essentially your grocery store. I know it's not everyone's going there, so it's like, where the fuck are you going? And I see obviously the videos on Twitter of people congregating outside still and having parties and stuff like that. Just absolutely zero fucks. And it's like, man, it's like, this disease is bad, but it's like, we're worse. Like, you just fucking follow direction. I don't want to be cooked up, and I don't want to lose my job, because that's the other thing. Like, I'm very grateful that my job has kept me employed, and they've told us that we're employed through the end of the month. There ain't no promise for May. And it's like, and the way that people are doing it, that could now affect me. Like, someone else's decision is going to fucking affect me negatively, and of course themselves, obviously. But
if we all took this more serious over the past 3 or 4 weeks, we probably that May timetable would look a lot more attainable right now than it currently is.
Like, what is it going to take? Is it going to take martial order or martial law, I guess? You know, like a beating. I've seen some countries that shit works. You're outside and whoop your ass. Like, you know, it's.
I saw, what was it? God, was it Italy?
I know it was India, where they had the bamboo sticks and just fucking ripping it on people on their bikes.
Some country, people were kicking it at a beach, and they flew helicopters above them to like create like sandstorms.
I saw this.
I want to say it was Italy, but I don't know.
Oh God, yeah.
That has to, by the way, whoever's flying that helicopter, that has to be the best day of their life. Like this, like I wake up for this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would put the blades down like in that movie 28 Days Later, and just.
They're like, what was your favorite time of your lifetime? They're like, that fucking 2020 pandemic was dope.
Yeah, highlight of my working career. Yeah. Speaking of 2020, we had this conversation the other day. It is insane that Kobe Bryant died this year, and we just started the 4th month of the year.
It was January 26th. I actually looked it up yesterday because I'm sure you've heard he's officially inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So I was like, God damn, man, that happened this year. And it feels like it was years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's it's definitely a crazy year. Like, me and my wife, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're gonna have to like plan on, you know, I don't see this being fixed by May. It's just the way it's going, man. People are just they're too. I mean, aside for how contagious this whole thing is, but people are just fucking just hard-headed. And Joe Rogan, I was listening to his podcast, he brought up a good point. Like, at what point, we can't all take the year off. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, we'll become a third world country. At what point are we going to just say, well, fuck it, you know, GG's, let's go out there, and it is what it is, you know? Like, maybe we all were, you know, spend like the next month of April and just make a shit ton of masks and gloves and stuff like that, and just send everybody the fuck back out. Like,
I mean, I think that's ultimately what's. I mean, I'm not even trying to get political, but like a week ago, Trump pretty much made it seem like, guys, like, you gotta get back to work. That was a week ago.
Yeah,
he's stepped that back a little bit, but I just don't really see a situation in which, and whatever, maybe different. He does continue to let the states handle themselves. So maybe we're in Illinois, maybe they handle it differently. I don't know. But I think June might be like, that's like worst case. I don't know if I'm worst case scenario of how long we they continue this, but I think really like by May 1st they're gonna be. I don't think schools will go back. I think that'll just probably stay on
Right.
because fucking you have 3 more weeks. Things like that might not change, but overall, like everyone else, I think at May they're gonna be like, well, let's see what we got. Like, let's
Right.
go get it. Like,
Roll the
hopefully,
dice.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
We know like a quarter of us are immune to it now because we survived it. So
right. And I mean, not to compare it to the flu and stuff like that, but the flu is deadly as fuck, and we already have a vaccine for the flu, and we still go out there and you know and get shit done. Someone brought up the point of cars. You know, so far this year, car accidents have killed way more people, but that doesn't ever stop us from fucking going out and driving. Like, we might have to fucking deal with this because I mean, storefronts are closing, restaurants are closing. Like, we don't want to come back out of this in October and just it's a ghost town everywhere because no one survived it. You know, that's the scary part.
How do you think this affects things going forward? Like, I number one think like theater goers. I think like the theater industry is gonna just fucking tank. I think it's done now. I think like Netflix is about to fucking just grab that and go. Um, that's the first thing that pops in my mind. I'm like, man, I wonder if like, especially who knows how profit like companies might notice that like people the money they pour into just buying things digitally and maybe how much it saves on advertisement or what have you. Like obviously movie theaters want to keep going because they make all their money off concessions and such. But I just think it's something that like if I were I don't know, AMC, if I owned AMC, I'd be like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah, I feel like the same thing's gonna happen. You know how like post 9/11, obviously the airports changed forever. I feel like move my mic a little closer to me. I keep sitting up. I feel like this is going to be something that's going to change the way we think about just cleanliness. I feel like we're going to have hand
no more handshaking.
Right. Yeah. We're going to go to the fucking what was it?
Demolition Man.
Yeah, well they do like this. And then the 3 seashells. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. I don't think it's gonna go that extreme, but it's definitely gonna be like a place where there's gonna be hand sanitizers everywhere. It's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like a mandate to like make sure like that you stay clean, all this like cleanliness type of push. You know, which I mean, again, like in reality, if you, I guess what's tough about this disease, well, it's not a disease, it's a virus, right? I guess what's the scientific term for this? Anyway, the COVID-19. What's fucked up, what makes the COVID-19 fucked up is the fact that you might not show symptoms for 2 weeks. It's not like the flu where if your wife had the flu and you made out with her, you're waking up tomorrow feeling like shit. It's
the next 12 hours.
Yeah. COVID-19, you might, I might have it. I might not know I have it. And some people, even though they have it, they don't even get sick from it. So that's what's fucked up. Like, that's what makes, I guess, some people think, well, I don't give a shit.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You know, because you literally don't know. But yeah, I feel like school's going to be done. I think any type of athletic season is going to be done. Football might actually not even start. Like, I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I don't think this shit's going to be fixed by September. I think we're going to go, like, most people are going to be back at work. But when it comes to having a congregation of 50,000 people, I don't think that's going to go down.
Yeah, so I definitely do not think football's done at all. Worst case scenario, I think they'll just play like empty stadiums. The way NFL like
it's too much money.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard earlier today. I guess Trump had a conference call with the commissioners from like the 5 major sports. I'm assuming like NASCAR is the other one. I don't know what the 5th major sport was in this country. I know soccer is huge worldwide, but I can't imagine. He called the MLS. Wait, is MLS the European League or is that the American League?
FIFA.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but I know. So I saw Adam Schefter report that basically he told Goodell that like business as usual, keep it. Sounds like the draft is going to be a virtual draft, which I don't know. I'm pretty sure the draft is in like 3 weeks. I don't know why anyone would think they would still have a big congregation, but Yeah, baseball. Oh, I don't know about that. Basketball, legitimately,
Yeah,
I don't think
basketball's done.
yeah, like I thought there might be a scenario in which they go like, okay, the best team in the East, best team in the West, you guys play a 7 game series, and maybe they do something like that in an empty arena again. Baseball, I heard sounds like they've pretty much committed to like a 100 game season at this moment.
Yeah,
But again, who knows? I don't know. Like, at what point do you cancel baseball? Are we cool with a 60 game season?
right.
Like, especially baseball. How many times has a team like the 2017 Cubs, the year after they won the World Series, they went into the All-Star break 5 games under 500. I don't know if I think they're 2 games under 500 and 5 games out of first place. Anyway, they ended up going on a tear, took first place. I think they took first place within the first 10 games after the All-Star break, went on a tear, ended up ultimately losing the NLCS. But if they were condensed to a 60 game schedule, they would never have made they would have they were like in third place at that point.
Right, and you can make the point for when they didn't make it to the playoffs. What was it? Last season?
Actually, yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
past 2 years, actually now I think about it, if you take it the other way back,
Right.
the 2 following years they would have been in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, I don't unless something changes drastically, I just feel like baseball's done.
Yeah.
It's it's just too I mean, the season should have started already. And we're still looking to May, and obviously I personally feel that's not going to happen. And now, granted, we're from Illinois, so we have one of the top 5 worst states. I don't know where it ranks up in, like, obviously New York's number 1, but so it might be a little different for other states. That's the other thing too.
Are you talking about people have been affected by the
Yes,
virus?
yes. So
Yeah.
it's like, I think that's another point. It's like I feel like everyone has different. So they have different opinions because they're living different scenarios.
Yeah, there's no way like just ultimately the way a virus passes. There's no way like Wyoming's going to suffer as much as like Illinois.
Right. There's just too many people.
In fact, southern Illinois is going to hit so much different than northern Illinois.
Right. But like New York's fucking, they're dropping like flies over there.
They're like Italy.
Yeah. But and just going back to sports, I don't think that's gonna. We'll see about football. It'll be interesting to see them play in an empty stadium. I just don't think I don't think it's going to be, unless for whatever reason a vaccine comes out along, and again, good, like the best case scenario from what I've heard from the CDC is towards the end of the year, but more realistically 2021. But who knows if they pull something out of their ass around August? Yeah, sure, why not? But this is where esports needs to fucking like shine, because people are dying to watch stuff.
Bro, listen, before you even go into it, like, this is from the wagering community. WrestleMania is going on tonight and tomorrow. I placed a $20 wager on Randy Orton to beat Edge. I win $60 if it happens.
That's where it's at right now. And you got all these esports that have been dying all these years to try to, I mean, I know Call of Duty's been trying to get into like ESPN and stuff like that, and occasionally I hear stuff about that, but fuck, this is like your moment to shine, and I feel like there's just sitting on their hands. They're not capitalizing on this.
Yeah, I think Call of Duty is like whatever the Call of Duty League, I think it is.
Yeah, the CDL
is CDL, which by the way, I was thinking about, it's such a terrible name, because I think I just typed in CDL the other day, and the first thing that popped up was a CDL license. Anyway,
right.
But I was looking at DraftKings as well, just to see that you can like bet on Madden simulations and NASCAR simulations and CS:GO, which is another type of first-person shooter, which I did a $5 lineup that did awful. But I was like, why is not like, this is like, you want to grab a nation as far as like a sporting event goes, you get the gamblers in there. Like, that's why the NFL dominates every other sport, is the money that gambling, like, and the reason it blew up from like the late 90s to 2000s is fantasy football.
Yeah.
And so like, why? I mean, I guess DraftKings, I don't know who approaches who as far as getting into DraftKings. I assume DraftKings just probably like creates some sort of system, and I assume they need some sort of I assume like whatever sport gets some sort of a cutback from it, but I really have no idea. But the fact that there's not a CDL lineups to go pick, or there's just I even went to DraftKings Sportsbook, which in Illinois you can't bet on the sports books yet unless you can't bet online. You can only go through like Rivers Casino at the moment. But I can still look at what the sports books say, and yeah, they have they have esports on there too to make. They're like prop bets. It's not like betting on a team, but still, like, you can fucking sink your teeth into this nation right now just by allowing people to just make wagers. Like, I'm sure I've seen stuff on on Twitter and such of people betting on water drops going down a patio door.
Yeah, it's especially when there's people that need money, obviously, because what was the last count? 6.6 million people unemployed? Like, this is a good way to put $20 down and win $1 million. I just don't understand. Like, and it's not just Call of Duty. There's other esports out there that host tournaments that aren't really capitalizing on this. Like, I was thinking of Halo. A lot of older people know Halo because Halo's one of the OGs. You know, I know it's kind of dead competitively, but they don't fucking know that. Like, just
great time to pick up.
Yeah, just make a few teams. You got the new Halo game coming out around the corner. And you don't need to leave the fucking house. It's an esports. You could play online. Obviously, it's a different experience when you're playing on land or connected directly because you don't have to worry about the internet and all that stuff.
But I mean,
still, who gives a
fuck?
We're
in a pandemic.
Yeah,
first world problems, guys.
Right. Just figure it out. Like, it's so insane to me that specifically Call of Duty, because it's a big fucking brand. It's Activision. Why they haven't capitalized on this, and who knows, maybe there's something in the works. Maybe that's why there's a delay in continuing the CDL. I don't know, but I think every day that goes by is one less day they have to capitalize on a great opportunity when people are just stuck in the house. They're watching virtual NASCAR right now. You telling me you're not going to want to watch Call of Duty or Halo or even Gears. Gears is another big competitive scene. Like, I don't understand why they haven't done it.
If anything, they could have something in the works, but as far as from like a profitability standpoint, like, strike while the iron's hot, and it is fucking scalding hot. Speaking of like sports, though, how big the fucking Houston Astros get bailed out by this pandemic?
Oh my god! Part of me thinks they started it. I don't know.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna forget about it. Everyone's gonna forget about it. Like, it's like they were going to the season sweating like that fucking gif of what's his face.
I
always say like the wrong one.
Jordan Peele. Is it Jordan Peele?
See, I do the same thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Jordan Peele.
But they were going.
Keegan.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, they were going to the season looking like him, and now they're like, whew.
If anything, what they should do is just find the players for cheating and like donate this to this pandemic to really try to get brownie points. Like, actually,
that's actually
we're gonna capitalize on this, guys. Hey. We're going to keep our rings, though.
Yeah, but that'd be a good idea and a good way for MLB to try to fucking fix the, sack of shit that they kind of created by not really addressing this situation.
But to bring it back to video games, and I never touched on it, but the reason I've quit pretty much working out is, that Warzone, man, that shit's addictive. Fuck. Playing it like 4 hours a night, going to bed late, and then waking up with a kid and just not having any energy to fucking lift a weight throughout the day.
Yeah, I've Warzone to me has been one of the most. It's an emotional roller coaster because I don't think I've raged from a video game in so many years. And I feel like at one point a night I rage playing Warzone. But it's like I'm a glutton for punishment. The moment I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I can't wait till 9 o'clock tonight to get on and play Warzone.
It's like crack, man.
Yeah.
It's just, I just need that W in my veins, man. Like, just chasing it. And it's crazy when you finally get the W too. It's just, it's such a roller coaster, but it feels like, most of the time I guess the good part of the roller coaster is when you're going down, right? Is that I don't really do roller coasters. So it feels like the whole time you're just going up, and then you just a quick drop, and then you're going up.
Yeah, it's no, it's definitely good. I think it needs a lot of improvement if they don't want it to die. Just because, I mean, obviously, what's helping it out right now is obviously the pandemic. People are at home. It's free to play.
Best time alive. Best time ever to be a gamer right now.
It's but if they do want it to survive, they definitely need to fix things. I know there's a big update coming up on Tuesdays, a new season. So I'm hoping some of this stuff gets addressed I mean, the big one is hacking. There's been a lot of hackers. Not to shit on PC players. Listen, to each his own. I think the argument of what's better, playing on PC or console, or Xbox versus PlayStation, or Samsung versus iPhone, I think it's stupid. I think it's, to each his own, whatever. But a lot of the hacking happens because it's cross-platform, and the PC players hack. Not all of them, but it's easier to hack in PC.
Exactly. I don't also give a fuck what system you play on, but if the system or the device you're using has a large majority of the hackers, then I don't know, something you guys might got to go.
Yeah. I think they need to implement some sort of like right now it seems like Activision, from what I hear from pro gamers and big streaming personalities and people in the business, I guess, is that they just have people like watching the games, where it's like, no, you need to have like programs that could detect when and it's Activision, man. It all goes back down to Activision. Like, you didn't think about this? You're a AAA fucking organization and you can't figure that out like ahead of time. Which, who knows? Maybe they were rushing, got Warzone out. We've had this conversation that was like, man, Warzone came out very specific, like right around the time everything started to shut down. Like, it was a perfect time for them to release Warzone. And who knows? Maybe they were like, get it out. Like, let's just put it out there and we'll fix it as we go. Which, probably could have happened. But they definitely need to tweak it a little bit. But it's a great BR. It's a lot like Apex Legends. You drop with 3. You could tag things, all that stuff. I definitely don't like solos. I think a lot of people also have said the same thing. I don't think it's Warzone or Call of Duty's fault that Warzone solos suck. I just think that the meta was built for team.
There's a reason they didn't release solos.
Right, yeah.
They knew it. Like, good for them, I guess, for being on top of that.
Because once they released it, I was pumped, and then I got in, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking brutal. Like, there's nothing fun about this.
Too many spots for people to, like, just hide and camp, and just... It's so frustrating playing solos. They always get rolled up by someone. Like, something I didn't like about the game when I first heard about it was respawning.
Yeah. I've
come around for it. I still wish there was less respawn. I mean, I've been clutched by the respawning, so I think only one match I've won. I never died. The rest I had to come back. So I'm not going to hate on it too much. Honestly, really the only complaint outside of hacking, but it's just the length. It takes too long. I appreciate, for the most part, it feels like you're engaged. There'll still be a match or two that we're like, just no one, but generally speaking, like every couple minutes, maybe every 5 or 6 minutes, you're usually battling someone. So I appreciate that. It keeps you engaged that way. It also wears on you, man. Like, it is. We've talked not on the podcast, but just individually about how when the beginning of the night of playing the game, like, we are like locked in. Specifically me, I'm talking now. I should say I'm locked in. And it's so mentally draining playing that game. By like the end of the night, I'm just like, not there, man.
Yeah, when to compare it to Blackout, for those that don't know, is the BR version of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. You could end up in 3rd place in a Black Ops match, and you just, okay, it is what it is. Fire it up. Obviously, you might not be happy with the outcome. Rightfully so, but you could just fire up the next one. Man, when you end up in 3rd place in this game, or even like top 10, top 15, you're like, oh, wow, that was a marathon, and we just coughed it. Like it takes a toll out of you.
I mean, that's the side effect of the respawning, because it's a sweat fest event. And me and you again have talked about how like you get to that final circle and it's a slugfest, man. It's haymaker after haymaker. And Blackout, because there's no respawning, you could go the entire match without seeing anyone, and all of a sudden go against some fucking thumbless fuck across the way and get a W because they did the same thing somehow. While in Modern, there's no way. Like the best players are just going to come back, because how often are the best players going to fucking lose a 1v1 unless they're going against another coincidental like fucking stud player? But generally speaking, like, you're going to have to face off against someone. There's obviously, again, it's a BR. Anything can happen. The Storm can push a bad team in a good situation, but typically you're gonna face off against someone that can bring it, which makes the W that much rewarding.
Right.
With that said,
no, it does.
It creates for a lot of built up anxiety sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like a win in Warzone goes a whole lot further than like a win in like Blackout, just because for one, it's harder to get. And you just got to go through so much. It's almost like a 40-minute game, you know?
The pace is so much quicker sometimes too. I mean, I guess I'm a little bit more comfortable now when we get towards that final circle. I'm looking at the top right screen to see how many people are left. And Blackout, man, like when it was down to the last 10, I was always counting down like 20 people, 10 people, 5 people, 4 people. While in this one, like there's been I want to say half of our wins, all of a sudden we just won. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't know we were going against the last team.
Yeah, it's definitely there's very few times where you're just kind of sitting around, where that would happen a little bit more in Blackout. And it's probably because there's 150 players. There's I mean, it's still a bigger map, but for whatever reason, I just personally think that there's more engagements because there's less fear of dying, because there's a chance for you to come back, whether it's because your team brings you back or because you win a one-on-one in the Gulag, where in Blackout people play maybe a little bit more conservative because they know that if they go down, there is no coming back, and then your team of 4 could only be one person left, There's definitely more full teams towards the end. Like you're going to battle another 3-person team for the most part. And it's usually the better player, like you said. And it definitely gets really sweaty at the end. But I think that's just part of the meta, which is crazy because in solos is the complete opposite. In solos, you land, you might get into an engagement right off the bat because someone landed by you, but that's it. That's the other thing about solos I don't like. It's fucking boring. Like it is so boring. You definitely can't go for a high kill game, unless you draw them out. But the time to kill is so much quicker in this game than it is for Blackout that they might fuck you up if they're on a rooftop, for example, and you're trying to, catch your attention down low. It just, it doesn't transfer well to solos. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's great for teams, but when it comes to solos, it just, it doesn't work.
I think the map has to be it's a map built for more people. I mean, solos, you only have one chance to respawn.
Right.
That's it. And so there's 150 people. So that means best case scenario, 75 people come back, while in fucking teams you can as long as you got the money, you can keep bringing your guy, keep bringing your team back. At no point can you not bring your team back as long as there's a store nearby to bring them back.
Right.
Now I think about it, there's one more like thing I think they need to fix, and once they fix all this stuff, other things will be more annoying to me, but is the self-res kits. Especially, you sent me the thing from Dr. Death, and I thought he made a good point. Like,
disrespect.
Sorry, what I say? He said Death, Dr. Death is a wrestler. Dr. Death, Steve Williams. That's the reason Stone Cold's name is Steve Austin, because in real life his name is Steve Williams, but when he comes to WWF, there's already a Steve Williams, so we stuck with Steve Austin anyway. Like, I don't mind the self-reses. They're a little like, I take advantage of them, so I'm not going to talk, but I still would ultimately prefer there not be one. Or like he said, You just need to be able to get killed. And when you get dropped, it should be like 1 or 2 bullets. That's it.
Yep. It for those that didn't see the Dr. Disrespect clip, he basically mentioned like he'd rather not see what's it called?
Self-res.
Self-res. I always want to say quick revive.
Yeah,
I always want to say yeah. But he'd rather see that go, but he's okay with it. But when you go down, you should be able to get shot like 2 bullets and be dead. Right now, it almost takes just as much to kill a person who's not down than it is when they're down. Like it takes just as many bullets, and that's too much because like then you're not going against 3 people. Now you're going against 6 technically, because if all 3 of them have self revive. Then you're essentially, you can't continue focusing on the guy you put down. You got to focus on the other guys too. It just it becomes just too much. It's just too much going on. Like again, it's sure. Are there upsides? Yes, it makes it fun. It makes shootouts fun. They last a little longer. But again, the game, I feel like the matches are so long already. Like you got to work on just making them quicker. Getting rid of self-res will help the match go by faster because people will just die quicker and then they don't come back unless you go to a shopping cart. There's a couple things. A big one that I have an issue with is the audio. I think the audio is extremely inconsistent. Sometimes you hear footsteps, sometimes you don't hear a fucking thing, but you got
to pick a lane.
But you'll hear a bullet from a mile away. Like it's insane how many times I hear gunshots and I feel like there's something going on around the corner, and it's like at least 300 meters away. Like I should not. If it's not within 200 meters, I should not hear a gunshot, like at all, period. Like I don't want to hear it.
Like I want to be able to hear the footsteps. I'd prefer that. I have a terrible shot, so I usually need to use my audio cues to get the jump on people. But like, yeah, you got to pick a lane. Like either I'm just always frantic, worrying about people around me, or other times I can like take a deep breath and realize I'm going to hear their footsteps.
Yeah, I'm okay either way. Like if you want to nerf footsteps and give everybody dead silence, fine, because I'll play to that. But the problem is I'll always listen for a footstep because every once in a while, you can hear them. But we've had like people roll in on us. Like I was the one I could think of that happened last week. I was in a fucking house looting the upstairs, and a team of 3 came up the staircase and shot me. I never heard a thing. Never heard a thing. I didn't hear the door open. Not a fucking thing. And I play with my game volume up loud as fuck because I'm a big fan of sound whoring, and it's from all the years of playing Search and Destroy, that's my go-to. And I didn't hear 3 people storm upstairs. Like that's insane. But then every once in a while you'll hear someone reload 3 fucking buildings down, where it's like it's just I don't know if that's a quick fix. I don't know if that's something that they're going to have to kind of like dig into. The regular game is fine, but yeah, it doesn't transfer well over to Warzone. The audio is extremely, extremely inconsistent.
I agree.
But everything else about it, man, it's fun as fuck.
Oh, awesome.
All the problems that we've discussed just now, listen, we clearly have been able to deal with it because we play it all the time, and it's kind of like revived my liking for Call of Duty. Like I didn't give 2 fucks about the multiplayer. I played it for a little bit. I was
going to say the exact same thing.
And I'm trying to get all my guns gold now. I might try to go for diamond. Who knows? I might fuck around and go for that other one that you get when you do all the all the camos. Like I literally play Call of Duty 6 hours a night at least.
So I don't talk about it much on here, but I like Destiny is usually my game to play all the time. I have like no desire to play it. Like especially they have their own competitive mode going on. Like for the weekends called Trials of Osiris, and it's just 3v3 against like the best of the best sort of thing. I just don't even fucking care because I just want to play Warzone. And even when I get like free time during the day, I want to sneak in like a half an hour of like a match or 2 of multiplayer to try to level up my guns, or just simply, honestly. I mean, I guess ultimately it's to level up my guns to get better loadouts for Warzone, but I've enjoyed playing the multiplayer. I haven't hated it. Like shipment is fucking crazy and wild. It's just chaos, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I don't mind it. It's a good way to level up my guns.
Yeah, it's definitely sparked up those juices again for me.
And the GBs they snuck in there, like I was thinking about that last night. Like I'm down to fucking play G. I don't know. We're about to like wrap this thing up and go downstairs and play some more. You're probably already downstairs, but I need to run downstairs to play some Warzone. Yeah. I don't know if we have a third fucking GBs. Now I want to play Warzone.
The thing about Warzone or just battle royales in general, and this is also to people who aren't like, I mean, we're not good. But people that are like terrible, because we go against some people that we are clearly terrible. What's crazy about BRs is you never know. Like, you never know. There's been nights where we have been just playing like absolute garbage, and then just everything works out. Our shots work out. The storm takes us to the right places. We take the right street or the right path. We make the right decisions, and whoop, voila, we get a fucking W. You never know. And I feel like going to back to your Destiny thing, for every match of Destiny, it's like in the back of your head, it's like, man, if we would have gone on Warzone right now, would that have been the time and moment where we would have snuck in a W?
That's how we were when we were like in the peak of Blackout. Yep. Which I think ultimately when this is all over, I see Warzone trending being more enjoyable. I guess ultimately, it feels like they just have more things. It feels. Whatever. We've played so much Blackout. Maybe things will change. Maybe a year from now, I'll look back at with nostalgia and be like, no, Blackout was the better game mode. But like we have like 60. You have like fucking 200 wins in the game. I have like 60 plus. I've done my tour of duty on the Blackout circuit. But like this game, it's fucking fun, man. It really is. It gets. And you talk about us being not good. I think we're good. I think you're better, obviously, but I think we have a pretty good BR IQ.
Yes,
and that makes it. But I have a terrible shot. I'm not dumb. I understand my shot's awful. A lot of my dumb decisions I make is because I don't trust my shot.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think that's the reason for everyone listening to us, we generally seem to do better earlier in the night. But I think the game is mentally just playing a 45-minute marathon weighs on me, and I'm like tough. I start pressing by the end of the night instead of like, ultimately you just kind of take what's in front of you, as dumb as that is. And then sometimes things don't go your way. It is what it is. But as long as you like stay on your toes, and you'll usually win most battles, because most people, I don't think, play very intelligently. For like a lot of times, there's been so many times we've been rolled up by a team that's probably recklessly attacked us, but we just weren't we weren't paying attention enough.
Right. To compare it to something, just to try to see if I could relate to some of if someone's older than us that maybe don't know what Call of Duty is. And I'm sure a lot of people have played Need for Speed at one point in their lives. Those races that were like 30 laps, you know how exhausting that was when you're like on lap 28 and then someone bumps you out of the fucking road. That feeling of just wanting to end everything right then and there, that's kind of what it is. It's an excruciating, you know where you have to go, you know how long it's going to take you to get there, but man, is it tough. Like it's just like when you get to like lap 29 and you die, or obviously lose the race, it's kind of hard to like spark that up again. And
that's how you break a fucking controller right there. God damn. That's when kids murder their parents.
Yeah, Need for Speed was probably still to this day the game that has made me rage the most, or any racing game.
Yeah, I never played Need for Speed. I played Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo was the other one I was going to bring up. Yeah,
I think the third one, whichever one released with PlayStation 2 at launch, I think it's the third one. Yeah. Anyway, I remember there's this one race that was like 7 hours long.
That's
and I didn't play it. I'm like, I'm not getting into that. But this one kid we were buddies with.
I know who it is.
You've never met him. Okay. I've told you the story, but you've never met him. Well,
I'm thinking about the other guy.
Yes, we know him because I'm trying not to drop names here. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. I was gonna drop what? Well, never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, I remember a bunch of us went to go like play basketball all day. We went to the park and played like 6 hours of basketball, and we came back just in time to like watch him. He was like last half an hour. He was like winning the whole time. I'm like, bro, you need to pit. And I also had vested interest in it because it was my game, and he was going to unlock me like a special Shelby Cobra race car. Anyway, like that's the only car I was chasing for. Like, and basically his parents didn't let him play video games, and he liked racing games. I'm like, well, you can play my game and win me this car. And he didn't pit, and he fucking like the last lap like spun out and fucking lost. Like probably the last 30 seconds he lost it.
Jesus. Yeah, I would have fucking flipped the console out the window.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was selfish reason. I want my cars. I still haven't got it.
But yeah, so I guess that's a good point. It's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Gotta play some Warzone.
We might, I mean, for the foreseeable future, this might be our podcast from here on out. For those that are listening and not viewing us, I guess we never really explained what we did at the beginning. So we're basically on Skype, and I fired up my OBS. I'm not going to explain what that is, but it's what I use to stream and record and all that stuff. And so it's two images of us live. We're talking. You can see us move and all that stuff. But the audio is probably going to be a little different. It's obviously we're not sitting next to each other in our room with soundproof walls, and
I'm using an Apple fucking like from a 10-year-old fucking headphones.
But we gotta do we gotta make do with what we got. So this is for the foreseeable future. Hopefully it's not gonna be all of season 2, but this is how it's gonna be.
We've discussed trying to take advantage, I guess, of our time too, and like we might stream on Twitch or Mixer or fucking YouTube or something, like do like a tandem Warzone stream. Yeah, we could easily do. Well, now with the whole Skype thing, we could definitely do that. And then you guys could check us out if and when we create that. We'll obviously let you know and put it down in our descriptions below. But if you guys want to talk about something, like always, feel free to reach out. We got time to talk. Yeah, a lot of time. Usually our social media links are down below. So you just go ahead and look at the description. You'll find them there. But till next time, stay safe. Stay the fuck in your house unless you have to go out to to get groceries and shit. Like, man, Brad, we gotta talk to Brad. I don't know how that motherfucker's someone
doing.
Should check on him. This probably this virus is not good for him. But yeah. Stay safe. Go out don't go out unless you're getting something that you fucking need, like groceries, and step the fuck back. Yeah. And mind your distance, wear gloves, even if you look dorky, even if you're like the healthiest human being, it's not about you, it's about the other person. All right. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see you. I would love to say next week, but we don't know how this is, how easy we're going to be able to do this. But hopefully next week. I feel good about next week. I'm going to commit to it. I'll commit to then. And we'll see you then. We just need something to talk about. Anyway, bye. Bye.